Next up, a chute score is a common 6-point scoring system often used to evaluate cattle temperament and their response to potentially fearful situations like human handling. Stress brought on by such events can have a wide range of impacts on the production and profitability of cattle. Recently, a team from UNL conducted a study to determine how training can help people more accurately assess temperament using the chute score. Market Journal's Bill Dodd has more.
One main goal of any given cow-calf operation is to ensure one new cow-calf pair annually. This means productive performance is a key element of profitability. Studies have shown that high-stress temperament in cattle may cause disruptions in normal physiological processes of fertility. Likewise, calving rates may be negatively associated with aggressive temperament. While safety is a good reason to implement chute scoring, being able to do so efficiently and effectively could have a positive impact on production as well as profitability.
The reason that most people want to quantify docility in beef cattle is mainly for safety purposes, especially people who raise cattle and work cattle in a family situation where you may have children, be it during calving or working of calves. Docility is really important from a safety standpoint, not only of the humans, but of the cattle themselves. They don't get a leg caught in the chute, or they don't jump through gates and stuff like that. But what people may or may not know is that the stress level of an animal also has an impact on some other economically relevant traits like meat quality. Dark cutters are known to be a result of cattle in stressful situations, and fertility. So cattle who are more easily stressed out it's harder for them to conceive. So, the benefits to me is that it's fast. You can do it during normal handling procedures whether you're just putting on pour-on or you're vaccinating your calves, whatever it may be. It's done kind of what we call at the speed of commerce. There's no drawing of blood, there's no taking a fecal sample or anything extra. But you do have to have a relevant understanding of the ethogram and knowledge in a way that's consistent across, multiple times of scoring cattle.
Knowing that a solid understanding of chute scoring is important to getting the most accurate score, in order to lend assistance to the beef industry, UNL grad students conducted a study to determine if training could improve a person's ability to accurately assess temperament via chute scoring system. Through the use of pre-recorded training videos, the study showed scoring accuracy increased by more than 10% regardless of age or prior experience of working with cattle.
And so what we did is we had 90 individuals throughout our study. They just responded to emails, flyers, things like that we kind of got the word out that we needed people to participate. They ranged in ages from college age to the 60s, obviously a mixture of sexes, but we wanted to get a representative, not only of people who had cattle handling experience, but maybe those who didn't, to see how they responded to training. And so those 90 individuals just showed up on a day, and we had pre-selected videos for them to watch and then assign a chute score on a scale of 1 to 6. And at that time, this was could have been potentially their first time seeing a chute score ethogram, or really maybe even the first time seeing a beef cow handled in general. And so the video was of the animal restrained in the head gate with the sidebars left open for 15 seconds. They then assessed the chute score on a scale of 1 to 6. Following that first round, we randomized our participants based on their cattle handling experience, their sex, and their age. So we came up with representative groups, 3 representative groups. One was a control who got no training between the first and second times watching the video. One treatment group who were only able to see a training video that we had pre-recorded. Within that training video, we walked them through the different behaviors they were seeing, why that qualified an animal for a certain number on the ethogram, and provided some examples for them to get them associated with using the ethogram. And then the third treatment group not only saw that same exact training video, but they were also given some separate exercises to give them experience. So just example videos that they were able to practice with that showed them, why they scored the correct answer or why they got it incorrect. Following the treatment or not, if the animals were in the control, they then went through and watched videos again and assigned, again, chute scores based on the ethogram. what we found, the results of the experiment were that regardless of cattle handling experience, age, or sex, exposure to the training video itself did increase the accuracy of the assessment. So, let's say someone received, an 80 on the test, the first time they went through, exposure to that training video increased their accuracy by over 10%. So we did see quite a great result of that training video and that additional information.
While chute scoring has its benefits, there can be some potential drawbacks. One such drawback is just how complicated it can be at times to accurately assess animal temperament. It can take a great deal of training and practice to make sure we remain consistent in our scoring.
Today, cattlemen just use this animal has acceptable temperament, this animal has unacceptable temperament. And while that works, it's been my experience that acceptable temperament varies based on what's happened earlier that day. Whether your fuse is short or long will determine whether an animal is considered, docile or not. And so using an ethogram with this, consistent descriptions of, whatever the threshold of acceptance may be for you as a producer, it just allows something to be a little bit more consistent.
Whether you're old or young, a novice or seasoned cattle producer, this study has proven that a little training can go a long way regardless of your experience or lack thereof. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Bill Dodd.